Hello everybody, Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma here, about to turn on my camera. While I do that, we are breaking in right now with a severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be in southern Michigan for portions of St. Joseph and Branch County. Should see me now. There we go. Hello everybody, I'm up here in the top right. While we jump into this severe weather coverage for this evening, feel free to hit that like button and the share button right away so this gets out to as many Michiganders as possible. Also, let me know if you can hear me pretty well. It looks like it's coming through well on my end. And we'll get started. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now in the orange box that you see on your screen. I've been watching this behind the scenes for the last 30 minutes now. And we have officially seen a severe thunderstorm warning now issued for portions of southern Michigan. The National Weather Service in northern Indiana has issued this severe thunderstorm warning for northern LaGrange County in northeastern Indiana, southeastern St. Joseph County in southwestern Michigan, and southwestern Branch County in southwestern Michigan until midnight Eastern Daylight Time. At 11:24 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Sturgis, and it's moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Main hazard of this, 60 mile per hour winds. It is radar indicated. Locations impacted by this severe thunderstorm include Sturgis, Bronson, Colon, Nottawa, Scott, Fawn River, Burr Oak, Shipshewana, Brighton, Klinger Lake, Fairfax, Howe, Findlay, Madison Lake, and Wasepi. Again, some of these locations are in Indiana. Some of them are also in Michigan, as this is a multi-state severe thunderstorm warning. This also includes Interstate I-80 in Indiana between mile markers 112 and 132. Also, remain alert for possible tornadoes with this severe thunderstorm. Hazard again, 60 mile per hour winds and a tornado is possible with this thunderstorm. If there were to be a tornado within this line, this would be where we see this little kink right over downtown Sturgis at the current time. At the current time, though, we are not seeing much in the way of rotation. However, again, this is a QLCS setup. So what that means is this is a line of storms with embedded mesovortices inside of them, which means we could see a brief spin-up tornado at any point within this line tonight, and it would be on the ground for maybe a scan, maybe two. So we got to stay vigilant here as this line of storms does move through portions of southern St. Joseph and southern Branch counties. Right now, currently, the center of the rotation is, if anything, over Sturgis. However, the main hazard right now, I will say this, is going to be 60 mile per hour winds. You can see this denoted by the right side of the screen here. Anywhere where you see these yellows on radar is going to be your heavier winds. And it's going to be primarily lining up with this band of heavier showers, which is on the left side of the screen. So rain on the left side, wind on the right side, and heaviest of the winds right now directly over downtown Sturgis. Hovering my mouse over some of these pixels here, we're seeing 60 to 65 mile per hour winds. And these will be heading off to the northeast once again for those who are just tuning in at 50 miles per hour. And so this will be moving up to Burr Oak and Bronson relatively quickly. Also, as mentioned, Colon in the severe thunderstorm warning as well. So, as it stands right now, this is the only severe thunderstorm warning in the state. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning is for warm weather events. We do have blizzard warnings, ice storm warnings up in the northern portion of the state right now, where we've already seen, as you can see on here, a 1/4 inch of ice fallen, or accreted, I should say, at Houghton Lake. Also 0.2 inches up in Alpena. So it's quite the significant ice storm ongoing up there tonight in portions of northern Michigan. We also have a blizzard warning in effect for all of the Upper Peninsula, which is the first time we've seen a peninsula-wide blizzard warning for the first time in, I believe, a 1/4 century, so 25 years. But again, main focus right now for this severe weather coverage is the ongoing severe thunderstorm warning down here in southern Michigan. And again, this will be our primary focus for this live stream. If you are off to the east, so Branch County, just the entirety of Branch County, this line is heading your way. And eventually, if it continues off to the northeast, it'll also continue towards portions of Hillsdale County and perhaps southern Calhoun, southern Jackson County as well. In fact, we do have a special weather statement coming in right now for Kalamazoo, Calhoun, and Jackson, as you can see popping up on the screen. Reading off the details behind the scenes, the National Weather Service in Grand Rapids has issued this special weather statement. For those who are new here, special weather statements are strong but not severe storms. So it's basically like a precursor to a severe thunderstorm warning. This special weather statement in effect for portions of, let's see, I'm looking at the polygon here. This is going to be only eastern Kalamazoo County, the entirety of Calhoun County, and the entirety of Jackson County until 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 11:26, National Weather Service employees are tracking on Doppler radar thunderstorms along a line extending from 5 miles east of Vicksburg to Union City to 6 miles south of Coldwater, and the movement is northeast at 55 miles per hour. And the special weather statement that is popping in right now is for wind gusts of 50 to 55 miles per hour, which again, severe thunderstorm winds start at 60, so this is just below severe criteria. So if you're in eastern Kalamazoo County, the entirety of Calhoun and the entirety of Jackson County, prepare accordingly for just below severe winds tonight. And again, a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for some of these counties. Again, difference between a watch and a warning right now is the fact that watch is the green side of the table for severe weather to occur. Warning means that the severe weather is happening. Let me go ahead and quickly check in on our YouTube streaming here, just make sure everything's all set up. Something I always forget to do on my back end here. Turn it on for our subscribers only who are on YouTube. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to hit that subscribe button or the follow button if you're on Facebook or Twitch TV or X. We are on 4 different platforms tonight streaming this severe weather coverage for you guys. So feel free to watch wherever it is deemed fit. So again, for those who are just tuning in, severe thunderstorm warning in effect for this little cell that is over Sturgis, and it's along a line kind of extending up towards Centerville and Mendon. It also extends up into Kalamazoo County, kind of where Ben is at right now. In fact, I also have to get Ben in my ear because I know he is out tonight. So we'll go ahead and keep him in my back pocket. And him and I believe Tyler are out there chasing tonight. Not going to see much, especially since this storm will be not producing much in the way of lightning. Low instability night out there, but high shear value. So this is primarily a damaging wind threat. But again, the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for 60 mile per hour winds and perhaps 1-inch hail. Go ahead and pull up Tyler's stream here just to see if he's in. He is indeed in. He is in Bronson, Michigan right now. And his stream is frozen. Go ahead and refresh that. See if it loads. There we go. You can see very dark out there. Again, time right now 11:34 p.m. And with minimal lightning, the only thing you're really going to see with the storm ongoing is just the rain. So Tyler is en route, directly heading towards the storm. Again, he's about 2 miles outside of Bronson right now, right there on US 12. Back to the radar. Again, you can see his dot right there just outside of Bronson. We are also watching a secondary line that is to the east of the severe thunderstorm warning, and that is near Orland, Indiana, just south of Coldwater. And this line of storms was previously tornado warned, has since lost its sense of rotation, which is good news. It was tornado warned back by North Webster. But again, that's something we do have to watch tonight on the northern edge of this QLCS line. So again, Coldwater, you're not in a severe thunderstorm warning right now. You may be getting the alerts on your phone, but again, this orange box denotes exactly where that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. So keep that in mind if you're downstream in Coldwater, Quincy, 60 mile per hour winds possibly coming your way in the next hour. Current time though, most of these winds, possible tornado, extends from Colon down to Burr Oak and Sturgis. Correlation coefficient radar, which is what we use to track debris, showing nothing in the way of lofted debris, which is a good sign, of course, means there's no tornadoes on the ground right now. What you're looking at here with this correlation coefficient radar is the uniformity of objects tumbling around the atmosphere. So in this case, it would be rain or snow, and that is what we're seeing across the entirety of southern Michigan tonight. I can give you guys an example of where this is not rain or snow, and that is up here in northern Michigan. You can see very heavy pockets of sleet, and again, sleet is not circular in nature, and so this will show up as these greens and even blues on our correlation coefficient radar. So heavy, very, very heavy freezing rain and sleet falling right now across Kalkaska, Montmorency, and even Presque Isle counties up here in northern Michigan. So quick little radar learning opportunity there for you guys. That's what we use for correlation coefficient for. You can also see the freezing layer the further out you get from the radar up here, denoted by all of these yellows and greens, about 3,500 feet off the ground. So it's very cool use of radar. We'll go back down here to our normal reflectivity, which is the intensity of the rain that is falling. Switch it over to our Indiana radar site here. And this thunderstorm continues to travel up US 12. Honestly, pretty much right on it. So again, Bronson, Coldwater up next. Colon, Sherwood, not in the severe thunderstorm warning, but these winds are heading your way. Would not be surprised to see maybe an extension of at least a special weather statement for portions of northern St. Joseph, northern Branch, and perhaps Hillsdale County coming within the next couple of minutes. Again, we would be waiting on the National Weather Service, Northern Indiana, who has jurisdiction over these counties, to issue that alert. Again, this is a low severe risk for today, so nothing too crazy. Our instability factor, which again is the storm fuel needed for severe weather, is very, very low. But again, the shear value tonight are S in SLIM. So we use SLIM as a way to denote whether or not severe weather is going to happen. S stands for shear, L stands for lift, I stands for instability, and M stands for moisture. We do have a lot of moisture out there, of course. Rainfall rates of perhaps half an inch an hour at times tonight. But again, instability, not really there. We do have a lift with the front moving through and plenty of shear, especially directional shear, or I should say speed shear, as these storms move across. But there's a little bit of directional shear in there as well, which could cause these storms to spin up very quickly. But again, instability very, very low. So anything that does occur will be rather on the weak side of things. So good news tonight. And again, we'll run you through this street by street as needed for any rotational storms. Heaviest of the rain, though, is going to be outside of that severe thunderstorm warning. As you can see here, this is the intensity of the rain. Once again, where you see the reds and the pinks on the reflectivity radar, that is your heaviest of the rain. Again, this forecast doesn't really call for hail in there, but with raindrops getting big enough and being lofted up into the upper levels of the atmosphere, we could see maybe some pea-sized hail mixing in at times tonight across southern Michigan. It is very unlikely that that gets to severe limits, which again is 1 inch in diameter. But again, we are far away from most of the severe weather tonight, which is occurring well off to our south. You can see all of these warnings all the way down into Louisiana tonight. And all those orange boxes do denote severe thunderstorm warnings, and the red boxes do denote tornado warnings. So if you know anyone to the south, feel free to let them know, as the severe weather crosses pretty much the entirety of southeast overnight tonight, and then over into North Carolina, Virginia tomorrow, where you could have a tornado outbreak over there on the East Coast tomorrow. So again, this is a very, very big system extending all the way up into the UP, where we've seen very high amounts of snow falling, freezing rain, ice, and of course now severe weather down here in southern Michigan. Kind of a jack of all trades system. Kind of reminds us a little bit of March 30th of last year, and again, that was a significant ice storm that did impact portions of the Gaylord, Johannesburg, over to Alpena region, and it's primarily the same areas tonight. Run that by me again. I have a chaser in my ear. I think that's Tyler. Okay, so that is here in Tyler behind the scenes here saying that severe wind gusts are occurring in Bronson, and they are pushing his car all over the road, I guess you could say. So those wind gusts are gusting to 60, according to Tyler there, who is outside of Bronson on the west side of town now. And again, the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until, where'd it go? Midnight, right? Yeah, till midnight. And again, this is special weather statement to the north, which if I turn on the alerts here, it's going to turn into a big old mess of boxes. But the special weather statement, which you can kind of see here, this tan line, is in effect till 1 a.m. And again, that's 50 to 55 mile per hour winds for portions of Kalamazoo, Calhoun, and Jackson counties. Snowfall, though, tonight, even though this isn't really a snow stream, we've had reports of 30 to 35 inches in portions of the UP in just here on Sunday since the start of the day today. And again, we still have Monday and portions of early Tuesday to go for this system. So we could see some snowfall reports well over the 40-inch mark, maybe even closer to 50 inches when it's all said and done up there in the upper peninsula of Michigan when this blizzard does end. If you guys do have any damage reports, freezing rain reports, snow reports, we will take them all tonight. Our messenger is open. Additionally, you can post them in our comments on any of our Facebook posts, just not here in the live stream because it won't be able to see it. But again, any of our other posts, we will be able to see it, so feel free to post them there. I will also run through our Facebook community page, which is Michigan Weather Reports. You can follow us there or join the group there. And additionally, we do have a Discord server, so discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers. It is there for you guys as well. We have a damage and survey channel for you guys to post your photos in, whether it's, again, damaging winds, ice, snow, you name it. It's kind of a multi-purpose room, so to speak, for you guys to use. So again, any way you guys want to send those in, we do appreciate them. And as always, feel free to also tag your local National Weather Service office in these damage reports as well, because they are ultimately the guys and girls who do issue these severe ice storm, blizzard warnings all the time. So feel free to go ahead and tag them. But at the current time, one severe thunderstorm warning, speaking of warnings, is in effect for 60-mile-per-hour winds, which is in Branch and St. Joseph counties. If you are downstream in the east side of Branch County and northern Hillsdale County, and of course southern Calhoun, southern Jackson as well, this is where that storm would be heading in the next hour to an hour and a half. So prepare accordingly for 60-mile-per-hour winds, perhaps your direction, as we move on throughout the evening hours. Again, we'll be live until this thunderstorm warning does go away, so feel free to follow along, and we'll track it as needed. But again, we just have one storm that we're talking about, so we're kind of waiting and seeing if there's any extensions downstream. Additionally, we are also live on our Indiana page right now, tracking severe thunderstorm warnings across Indiana. Again, it looks like 60 to 70-mile-per-hour winds have been reported in the Indianapolis region tonight. So very strong winds down there. And again, you can follow our stream on our Indiana pages, and those Indiana pages can be streamed live on YouTube and Facebook at Indiana Weather Network and Indiana Weather Online. The severe thunderstorm watch for Eaton, Ingham, Berry, Allegan, Van Buren, and Berrien counties has expired. It actually expired prior to the stream starting. Just wanted to mention that real quick. It's also expired for Cass. So Cass, Berrien, Van Buren, Allegan, Berry, Eaton, and Ingham counties. You did have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect that has been canceled. You guys are in the clear for severe weather for tonight. Severe thunderstorm watch still remains in effect for Kalamazoo, Calhoun, Jackson, Branch, St. Joseph, Branch, Hillsdale counties, and low possibility that we do see an extension of the watch off to the east side of the state. I know some of you guys have been asking about that here in chat. But at the current time, nothing anticipated. We do not see any mesoscale discussions coming in from the Storm Prediction Center, which is basically like a highlighted zone that says, hey, we're planning on issuing a watch sometime soon. Be prepared to mention that to the public. So we're not seeing that right now for Southeast Michigan, but we cannot rule out an isolated severe thunderstorm or two as this line advances over towards the east side of the state. I'll go ahead and loop this radar loop for you as well, for you all as well here. As you can see, northeast is the primary direction tonight, and again, the speed is 50 miles per hour. Is there a tornado watch in Indiana? Yes, there is. It is south of Indy tonight. So well off to our south, not even anywhere close to Michigan. Main hazards for Michigan tonight: damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour possible. And while very, very low, we do have a less than 1% chance of a tornado. It would be very brief in nature given the fact that we have very little instability, but we do have some strong shear, which is our wind component in the atmosphere. So honestly, not really expecting any more sort of severe thunderstorm watches or even tornado watches the rest of the night. But again, I'll let you guys know if that does pop in. And right now, the only area of concern with this line of thunderstorms is Calhoun, St. Joseph, and Branch counties. And again, for those who are just tuning in, there is a special weather statement in effect for portions of Kalamazoo, Calhoun, and Jackson counties. Special weather statement is a step below a severe thunderstorm warning, as the winds are 50 to 55 miles per hour there. We need that to be 60 mile per hour winds for that to be a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, the direction on that is also off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So the winds and the speed of the storms are kind of the exact same. Also, good news, bottom of the screen, you can see our orange box has gone away. That means our severe thunderstorm warning has been dropped. We will stay alive here for just a little bit longer as, again, this line continues to advance into Michigan. And we do have our our lead line, which has come up from portions of northern Indiana, into Branch and Hillsdale counties now. And this is the line I actually want to keep an eye on, as it is in the warm sector as it moves off to the northeast. So we'll stay here live for a little bit longer, and if I continue to watch this fall apart, then I'll probably jump off the stream. But again, stay live from beginning to end when all warnings do hit. So if you're new here in the state of Michigan, we will stay live until the severe thunderstorm warnings are all said and done. So technically we could go offline right now, but I'm going to stay live for just a couple minutes longer at least to make sure that this severe threat is officially said and done. And if we do eventually jump offline, but it does eventually get severe warned, just know that we will be live again later. We'll have like a part 2 stream or something up on our page. And again, nothing really gets by us, so feel free to follow along today if you are new here in the state of Michigan. We'd love to have you become part of the team. Go ahead and open up our live YouTube stream here. Checking on the chat for you guys. We have a super chat from FLM with a $4.99 super chat saying anything for Wayne County. And right now, nothing heading into Wayne County, so good news there. But again, this line of showers and storms is advancing your way, likely going to be in your area over the next couple of hours. We'll keep an eye on it later tonight. But primarily this damaging wind threat will be confined along and south of 94, I would have to imagine. Also, Natalie W, becoming an EF0 member here on YouTube. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support. And looking back at our velocity radar here, we're not really seeing those reds and greens inside the line. So again, another radar lesson for you guys real quick is we're always looking for these reds and greens close together within a line of storm, something like this. If we see reds and greens like that, that's usually a sign of some broad rotation, maybe a quick spin up. And we're just not seeing that at the current time, but it does look like a classic straight line wind event as this line continues off through Branch County, even up here into Calhoun County now. It looks like it's already cleared Kalamazoo County, so special weather statement will still be in effect through 1 a.m. for Kalamazoo County, because for special weather statements specifically, they're not allowed to trim them. And so just be advised, it may still say special weather statement for Kalamazoo County, but I can tell you guys right now that Kalamazoo County in the clear for this line of 60 mile per hour winds. It's now over Battle Creek in Athens and is sliding off into Marshall, into Concha here in the coming minutes. Shout out to Tracy as well, back for month number 2, saying thank you for covering this. No problem, Tracy. No matter the time of the day, we're live. Even if it's a holiday or a weekend, we'll be live covering it for you guys from beginning to end. Also, Carrie, back for month number 12 as an EFC member. Shout out to Carrie there. And Fly for 199 super sticker. Thank you guys very much. For those who are curious about the temperature difference across portions of the state right now, it is 70 degrees in Ann Arbor, 66 in Howell, and 37 degrees in Flint. That's a change of almost 35 degrees in the span of 25 to 40 miles. That's a very, very strong warm front. And thankfully, right now, with the way the atmosphere is playing out, these stronger storms are staying away from that warm front. If you remember back to March 6th, that one lone cell latched onto the warm front, and that's what caused those tornadoes across southern Michigan. But we don't see anything like that on radar tonight. We're not expecting anything on radar like that tonight. So good news there. Again, this is going to be just a damaging wind threat with a very, 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 very low chance of a spin-up tornado. And this is why we stay live, because guess what? We're back to severe weather ops. New severe thunderstorm warning coming in right now. And again, as I mentioned, this is that first line of storms. So we did have that second line that's been issued. And now we have that first line that's now under a severe thunderstorm warning as well. So the National Weather Service in northern Indiana has issued this severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Steuben County and southeastern Branch County and western Hillsdale County and northwestern Williams County. Williams County and Steuben County are in Indiana. Branch and Hillsdale County are in Michigan. Williams County is in Ohio. Steuben County is in Indiana. Branch and Hillsdale County are in Michigan. This is all in effect till 12:15 a.m. At 11:51 p.m., severe thunderstorm was located near Fremont, or 11 miles northeast of Angola, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Hazard, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and it is radar indicated. Locations impacted include, and this will include some cities in Indiana and Ohio, Angola, Hillsdale, Jonesville, Fremont, Indiana, by the way, Pioneer, Reading, Long Lake, Ray, Cambria, Kinderhook, California, Michigan, Ransom, Camden, North Adams, Montgomery, Clear Lake, Bear Lake, Allen, York, and Lake Wilson. This does include Interstate I-69 in Indiana between mile markers 355 and 357, I-69 in Michigan between mile markers 1 and 8, and Interstate 80 in Indiana between mile markers 143 and 155. Also, remain alert for possible tornadoes. Again, hazard with this new severe thunderstorm warning is 60-mile-per-hour winds and a tornado possible as the storm heads towards Allen and Reading, Michigan, as well as California and Camden. It's actually over California, Michigan right now. Also heading into Montgomery right now. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our velocity signature just to see if there's any kinks in the line. I would say right now, if there are going to be any kinks in the line, it's going to be in this little quadrant just to the north of Montgomery. It would be over Algonese and California. Watching this area right here on Brown Road just to the west of Kelly Road. So Brown Road, Kelly Road. Also traveling down Pridgian Road. Probably pronouncing that incorrect, but I do apologize. Also traveling down Leicester Road. Again, all heading off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So by the time I read these roads off to you guys that are right underneath the potential quick rotation here, this storm is already going to be over you. So Reading, Camden, Allen, you guys have less than 5 minutes. Do take shelter inside a sturdy structure until the storm does pass. Again, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Whether or not it's rotating winds or straight line winds, it's going to bring down trees nonetheless if it is 60 miles per hour. So do be away from any walls in your house that are next to trees that could fall from the direction that would be southwest. So again, the storm is moving off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So these storms are moving rather quickly. So Reading, Allen, Jonesville, Hillsdale, Osseo, Frontier, Camden, you guys only have mere minutes to take shelter inside a structure until these storms have passed. If you know anybody in Hillsdale County or anywhere in this orange severe thunderstorm warning box, feel free to send them a text right now. Call, especially if they're sleeping right now, current time 11:54 p.m. Call's going to be probably better than a text. And also let them know that we are live streaming here at Michigan Storm Chasers on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch TV, and X at the username MI Storm Chasers. So again, for those who are just tuning in, getting the weather radios sounding at their house, severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Branch and Hillsdale County, specifically in this orange box. So you'll see it's not all of Branch, not all of Hillsdale County, but it's a good majority. And it's in effect until 12:15 a.m., so it's a short-lived severe thunderstorm warning. And again, hazard with this, 60-mile-per-hour winds and a possible tornado as this heads towards Allen and Reading. So again, lowest floor interior room. Again, a tornado could develop any time. Again, with this QLCS setup, we see these brief little spin-ups that do occur every once in a while. And so it'll be a weak tornado, if anything. But again, right now, my primary factor for this severe thunderstorm warning is going to be that 60-mile-per-hour winds, which, if you think about it, is the equivalent of an EF0 tornado anyways. So it's wind. Wind is wind. You do want to be taking shelter. Interior room, if possible, away from any trees. The ice storm is still ongoing, for those who are typing in chat. Again, this is a severe weather stream right now, so we're talking about the severe thunderstorm warning ongoing in southern Michigan. Not to take away from everything that's happening up north, but yes, you guys are still getting an ice storm up there tonight. It's ongoing right now, and a blizzard up there in the Upper Peninsula, where almost 3 feet of snow have fallen for some locations. We've also seen already a quarter of an inch of ice, which is ice storm criteria, that has accreted across the Houghton Lake, Missaukee region, even over towards Alpena tonight. So again, these hazards for wind, ice, and snow are going to be occurring throughout the day tomorrow as well. So we're just getting started here on this Sunday evening as we roll over here into Monday in about 4 minutes. So if you are north of US 10 tonight, especially along M55 and points north, that's where all that ice is going to be accreting. If you're in the Upper Peninsula, that's where all the snow is going to be falling, especially totals that are going to be 3 to 4 feet in nature. So yes, by the time we get done early Tuesday morning, especially if we have backside lake effect snow, some places in the Upper Peninsula could see 40 to 50 inches of snow. I kid you not, with this event. So this is quite a historic blizzard, you could call it, when it will be all said and done. As we've seen so far, 30 inches of snow have fallen in Escanaba alone on Sunday. But again, back to the severe weather threat. We are watching a line of severe winds, which kind of extends all the way up and down this severe thunderstorm warning. If I could draw on my map here, the front edge of this damaging wind, if anything, is going to be from Allen down to Reading and down to Camden. So right along that M49 corridor, and it's going to be moving off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So kind of traveling down that US 12 corridor, eventually heading towards Jonesville, Hillsdale, Frontier. You guys have some time to prepare, but not much. So do be taking shelter into your room as needed. And again, make sure to bring some shoes with you if you do take shelter. This is the only severe thunderstorm warning in the state. Anywhere else in the state is just seeing some rain, ice, snow, wind, you name it. But anything that is coupled with that right now is going to be confined to the Hillsdale Branch County line. And again, we are still watching this second line of storms that's up here in Calhoun County right now, which is under a special weather statement for 50 to 55 mile per hour winds, but it is not severe like the storm off to its southeast. So if you're in Calhoun County, Marshall, Teconcha, this I-69 corridor, be advised you do have some gusty winds moving through. They're over Battle Creek right now, and they'll be quickly approaching Marshall, Teconcha in the next minutes to even seconds, and eventually off towards Albion and Homer within the next 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find any cameras here. I'm going to go ahead and reference behind the scenes our camera map so I can pull that in for you guys, see if there's any sort of lightning out there. Again, lightning tonight is going to be very few and far in between as the instability is very low, but it's worth a shot to try and view. Go ahead and click through it here. And I'll go ahead and open up our camera software behind the scenes. So again, if you're just tuning in, Allen, Reading, Camden, gusty winds of 60 miles per hour possible. Also possible tornado moving in. But right now, no tornado warning. It's going to be just primarily 60 mile per hour winds. If there were to be a tornado, I will go ahead and zoom in right now and change it over to base velocity. It's going to be in this little notch or multiple notches between Reading and Allen. It's going to be very hard to see because this is very far away from the radar site. And so anything that is going to spin up is going to be kind of below the radar beam. But there is a couple notches that we are watching very closely right here on US 12 between Quincy and Allen. And also a little bit further south down here towards Reading. And Camden, not really seeing any notching there, but we do still have to keep an eye out for this line. And again, this line, which was back here in Warsaw, down here near North Webster, Indiana, was tornado warned previously about an hour ago. So it's not completely out of the woods that we see a tornado warning pop up, but right now it's going to be just 60 mile per hour winds with the storm. So again, like and share, show you care. Even if you don't know anybody in this area of the state, a like does help the algorithm bump it out to fellow Michiganders. And again, we've seen reports before of people that have commented on our page saying, hey, if it wasn't for your stream literally randomly popping up in our feed, we would never know that this storm was coming. And this goes back as recently as the March 6th tornado that did impact Three Rivers area. So again, it does mean a lot if you do like and share. So appreciate you guys very much that have done that so far. And again, we are staying live until this warning does expire and then some tonight. Outage-wise, right now we are at 65,000 outages here in the state of Michigan. We do have a couple of outages coming in from Branch County with the most recent severe weather has come through. In fact, this is validating across the area, across Branch County. That is going to be with, I'm going to double check here. It was with that previous severe thunderstorm warning. So a lot of our outages that have come in are from the Coldwater and Quincy area. And so this is validating right now as 60 mile per hour winds. We did hear that with Tyler, who's out chasing right now on US 12 between Bronson and Coldwater. So I am seeing outages come in right now from the Branch County area, and they're now starting to leak over into Hillsdale County. So this is confirmed 60 mile per hour winds within this line. So Litchfield, Jonesville, Hillsdale, this is up next for you guys within the next 5 minutes, maybe less. So please be taking shelter inside interior room as needed. Go ahead and still trying to find a camera that's close enough here. We just have a couple. We have a couple cameras in the Hillsdale County area, but right now they're all dark because it is obviously midnight. And in fact, it is 12:02. So welcome to March 16th. It does say March 15th on our stream if you're watching on YouTube right now, but it's a March 15th, March 16th sort of stream. Again, I am Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma up here at the top of the screen, and we are going to be live here until this severe weather does end. Again, right now we're watching some 60-mile-per-hour gusts, perhaps even higher, crossing the US 12 corridor. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and let our staff know behind the scenes that these winds are confirmed. Yeah, so again, this is going to be heading into Hillsdale kind of quickly. I'm actually just seeing a new outage popping up right now, right on the Branch Hillsdale County line. So this is right in the area of Allen at the current time. In fact, we do have an Allen cam. We'll see if it survived the outage. It is still on. Go ahead and pop this in here in just a second. There you guys go. There's our Southern Michigan Marble Springs campground camera. And right now all you can see is darkness. But if you look very closely, you can see the trees kind of shaking out there in the background. But right now, this camera is, I think, beyond the heaviest of the wind gusts. So I'd have to go back probably a couple minutes here to see some of the strongest of the winds. But again, it is going to be heading towards Hillsdale and Jonesville in the next probably 3 minutes now, as this races off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. Again, also have some gusty winds up here into the Calhoun County area. We're watching right along where this yellow is very, very bright across the I-69 corridor from Olivet down to Concha. Again, special weather statement in effect for Calhoun and Jackson counties for 50 to 55 mile per hour winds. Now, a special weather statement does not trigger severe weather radios because, again, it's not a severe thunderstorm warning, but it is the step below a severe thunderstorm warning. So if you are in Calhoun County right now, especially on the east side of the county where this wind is yet to hit, and the entirety of Jackson County, these winds are heading your way. So prepare accordingly to some scattered outages out there this evening as these winds move in. So one special weather statement, one severe thunderstorm warning in effect for these severe winds that are crossing portions of southern Michigan. Again, these are well south of 96 at the current time, but this northeast movement could bring it up to the 96 corridor. That would be Ingham, perhaps Livingston County within the next hour and a half. And again, these, as long as these storms can stay in the warm sector, then these could have a chance at producing some severe winds. Right now, that cold front is in Eaton County. It's 37 degrees in Charlotte, but 61 degrees down in Marshall. So this line of storms very, very close to the warm front. It's 44 in Mason right now, but 63 in Jackson. So that warm front right now is draped right along southern Eaton and southern Ingham County. And then it's also 66 in Howell. So it moves back up to the north and is north of the Pontiac area. So it kind of wiggles its way across the state. Again, 37 degrees in Flint, 66 degrees in Oakland. And so if you are south of that warm front right now, you're in that warm sector where this severe weather is still possible this evening. So we'll have to keep an eye on this line of storms as it makes it over into Jackson, Ann Arbor area, and perhaps even Metro Detroit over the next coming hours. So again, if you know anyone over in Southeast Michigan, or if you're watching in Southeast Michigan tonight, have some neighbors that could benefit from the stream, feel free to share it with them. Right now, any notching within the line, it's very hard to see, again, in between radar sites, but it looks like any notching right now is going to be right on Hallett Road at Sand Lake Road. So it's about 2 miles outside of Hillsdale, heading directly in towards downtown Hillsdale. I'll go ahead and check out the debris radar, and I'm not seeing any debris being lofted at the current time, so that's good. We'll gladly take that. But again, 60-mile-per-hour winds is bringing down some power outages in the area, especially in Branch County. Current time is 12:07. Also want to shout out Red Wings fan for becoming an EF0 member here over on YouTube. Appreciate your support. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect till 12:15, so it's ending in 7 minutes here for portions of Branch and Hillsdale counties. 60-mile-per-hour winds, possible tornado within this severe thunderstorm warning. We have Tyler out there chasing tonight. He is in right now the Coldwater area. If I go ahead and switch over to his stream, you can see it is very dark out there, like because it is obviously nighttime, but he is heading back towards this line of showers and storms. So if he has any trees that are down, any wind damage, he'll likely come across it and he'll give us a view. But right now he's just driving out there in the rain well beyond or well behind this line of severe gusts. Bottom of the screen we have our active warning bar. So the highest active alert right now in the state going to be that severe thunderstorm warning. Obviously the blizzard warning, ice storm warnings obviously still going on. But with severe weather, our warm weather alerts are always going to take highest precedent because, again, it is in the moment sort of tracking. So highest active alert in the state, severe thunderstorm warning, but we do have blizzard warnings out there. As you can see, bottom of the screen, Emmett County is one of those blizzard warnings. Also have Chippewa, Mackinac Island, Beaver Island as they're scrolling across the screen. And again, these blizzard warnings are in effect until early Tuesday morning. So it's a long time. Prepare for a lot of snow and ice between now and Tuesday morning for portions of northern Michigan, especially the entirety of the Upper Peninsula, and of course the M55 corridor and north for any of that ice. Again, all of our maps can be found on our Facebook page. It's going to be the best place to view it. You could also view them on Instagram, MI Storm Chasers, for those details if you guys missed them earlier today. Main hazard tonight, for those who are wondering about the actual severe thunderstorms or warm weather severe thunderstorms that are occurring across southern Michigan, it is primarily a damaging wind event. However, again, we do have a lot of speed shear and just a little bit of directional shear out there, which will cause these storms to start spinning, as they cross the I-94 corridor and points south. And so there is a 5 to 14% chance of a damaging wind gust tonight within any storm, and a 1% chance of a brief spin-up tornado. But as we continue into the overnight hours here, again, we're at midnight now, so I don't expect anything in terms of tornadic activity. But we've seen funkier things here in Michigan, as we've seen over the year of 2025, especially with that. So right now, nothing to worry about. No tornado warnings in effect, just one severe thunderstorm warning as this now enters Hillsdale. So if you're in Hillsdale right now, you're likely getting the brunt of the wind. I've seen in comments here, Marshall is also dealing with some high winds, and that does make sense, as that is where this line does extend, that secondary line up here in Marshall where the special weather statement is in effect. And we do have a new weather alert coming in, new severe thunderstorm warning popping up. Get to the details in just a second. I'm switching over to radar here real quick, just because I want to check in on Marshall from the Grand Rapids radar. In fact, that is something that will need to be monitored a little bit more, as we're seeing some higher velocities on the front edge of this line. So northeast side of Marshall, so directly over 19 Mile Road at L Drive North. Some higher wind velocities here. Very, very close to what we call a tight little couplet. Brief little spin up. So we'll keep an eye on that. No warnings in effect in Calhoun County right now, but we are watching that very closely. It is very, very close to the warm front as well. And again, when we see that warm front, it's something we do want to watch out very closely for with the interaction with the warm front. So keep an eye on that. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning, though, coming in for Hillsdale County. See that orange box pop up in just a second. And there it is. So here we go. National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for the remainder of Hillsdale County until 12:45 a.m. At 12:09, a severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from Litchfield to Hillsdale to 6 miles southeast of Reading, and it's moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Hazard is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Also, they have added specialty text here saying, intense thunderstorm lines can produce brief tornadoes and widespread significant wind damage. Although a tornado is not immediately likely, it is best to move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Again, also torrential rainfall occurring with these storms may lead to flash flooding. So heavy rain, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and a tornado possible within this line of storms that is moving over Hillsdale and Jonesville and Reading right now and Camden. Moving off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So North Adams, Osseo, Pittsford, Ransom, Moscow, and Wheatland are all going to be up next here, looking at some of our smaller cities behind the scenes. Also Cambria. They're all heading your way. Again, 60-mile-per-hour winds, possible tornado. Looking at rotation, still looking at the couplet up and down the line. It could really be anywhere up and down this line with the way the wind vectors are tonight. But Hillsdale specifically, it's over you right now. North Adams, Osseo, and Frontier up next. What do you do if your basement has a windows? Just get away from it as possible. Again, as long as you're below ground, I will mention this. This comes up all the time. If you're below ground at all, no matter if you're on the east side of the basement, the west side of the basement, it's way better than being above ground. If you do have a window in your basement, of course, you do kind of want to stay away from that if possible. So protect your eyes, protect your head if you are taking shelter. Lowest floor of the building, interior room. And again, if you know anybody in Hillsdale County, feel free to pass along the word. We often say the buddy system is a good way to stay alerted. So that means you and a specific other person that is maybe a friend or a family member look out for each other in the times of severe weather. So if you live in Hillsdale County and maybe your friend lives up in Jackson County, then you guys can give weather alerts to each other when these severe weather alerts strike. So for example, if you're in Jackson County and you know you have a buddy in your buddy system that's down there in Hillsdale County, give them a call, wake them up, let them know 60-mile-per-hour winds are moving in right now. We do have confirmed power outages coming in on our map. And these winds are going to continue down the US 12 corridor, eventually over into the Addison area within the next half hour to 45 minutes, and further north up into Jackson County, Jackson proper as well within the next hour. I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. Don't worry, guys. That's why I always stay live extra minutes after the last severe thunderstorm warning goes away, because we see this happen all the time here in Michigan. We have one warning and then zero and then two, just like we had tonight. So we're staying live. We got you covered. But again, if you're in Hillsdale right now in Cambria, this is where the intense line of winds is moving through. And again, if you have any damage reports, feel free to message the page with a location and time that it occurred. Again, when you do submit reports, the most detail that you can give is going to be the best option to go about it. Because again, if it happens to be, a quick spin-up tornado, the National Weather Service is going to use that information to go out and survey your location. And that way they can put it into their database and, count it for future purposes. So keep that in mind. It's also good to kind of do for previous severe weather recaps, so we can see this information that comes in real time. It also actually helps our weather models too. It does help verify long term in terms of our soundings. We show these sometimes on our severe weather briefings, but sounding data does use LSR data, live storm report data from you guys. So live storm reports go a long ways here in the state of Michigan. So feel free to send those in as you needed or as you deem fit. However, again, your safety is the number one priority. So make sure you're taking shelter first and foremost. And then once the storms go by, once it's safe to do so, you can send in a report of any damage that you do have. Also, over here on YouTube, a $1.99 super chat from Jackman asking, do you see any incoming threat for southeast Michigan, specifically the Blissfield area? Right now, it is possible. We're going to continue to watch this line of severe thunderstorms that is in Hillsdale County. But right now, that is the only focus. So we're not out of the woods yet in Blissfield. We'll continue to monitor this line of storms as it continues off your way. Just checking in behind the scenes, see if there's any new information. And not seeing anything right now. Again, power outage map is still lighting up somewhat. However, it has decreased, so we're hoping that that wind is no longer surface-based as it continues through Hillsdale County. But right now, if you are in this orange box, that is the current severe thunderstorm warning. So if you know you live in Hillsdale County, it's primarily all of Hillsdale County except for this tiny little section of western Hillsdale County. So this is why it's important to know where you're located on a county-based map, because when we're showing you these radar images, you can kind of point out, hey, I live right there about 3 miles to the west of Hudson, for example. I see that line of storms is heading my way. I'm also in an orange box. That means I'm in a severe thunderstorm warning. Putting 2 to 2 together, this line's heading your way. It's moving off the northeast at 50 miles per hour. It's likely to be to your area in the next 5 minutes. That way you can take shelter now prior to the storm hitting. So right now it's just a Hillsdale County threat, primarily central and eastern. If you're in western Hillsdale County, no longer in effect. Also, Branch County, no severe thunderstorm warnings in effect there anymore as well. Special weather statement still in effect for Calhoun and Jackson counties for sub-severe winds of 50 to 55 miles per hour. Current time now 12:18 a.m. We have a lot of different warnings and advisories out there tonight. If you missed our severe weather alerts maps around 9:30 tonight, we posted 3 maps in one post. One of the maps was a severe thunderstorm watch. One of the maps was the wind advisories, and the other map was all the winter alerts, which includes winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings, blizzard warnings, and ice storm warnings, primarily for West Michigan, Northern Michigan, and the entirety of the UP. Current temperature right now in Adrian 65, Ann Arbor 67. We also have the Willow Run Airport reporting 68 degrees. Very, very warm spring morning, meteorological spring morning. Asterisk there if you go by meteorological seasons. Otherwise, it's still technically winter by astronomical seasons. But again, 67 degrees in Monroe County right now, 64 in Detroit, 68 up there at the Oakland Airport, 68 also near Pontiac. But again, if you go to the north, if you go up into Lansing, it's 36 degrees, 37 in Flint, 36 Grand Rapids, 36 in Ionia. And this cold weather is going to be moving in throughout the day tomorrow. So we see this rain change over to snow across the entirety of the state. Now, snowfall amounts for eastern Michigan be rather hit or miss because it is going to be lake effect in nature. We do see higher totals perhaps for West Michigan where the winter weather advisories are in effect. And of course, the continuation of the blizzard up there and ice storm in northern Michigan. Gonna zoom back in on our velocity radar real quick just to make sure I'm not missing anything here. And right now, it's still not seeing any reds and greens close together. So that's good. Go check out the Doppler radar from the airport, and it's just outside of the range for that over there in southwestern Wayne County. Detroit radar, which is also pretty far away from this line of storms, does show that line of bowing winds from Hanover down through North Adams and Osseo. And of course down here towards Frontier and then Pioneer, Ohio. The severe thunderstorm warning is just in Michigan though. I'll go back up to the Grand Rapids radar and check on the velocity couplet that we were watching near Marshall, and it has continued to exhibit some rotation. But the good news right now is I'm not seeing any debris, so that is good there. We'll hope it stays that way. And in fact, the latest scan does have that reds and greens getting kind of blown apart, I guess you could say. And so that is good news there for any rotation. It's falling apart, but we are still watching down here south of Jackson, Hanover, and points south. Still, special weather statement in effect for Calhoun and Jackson County for those 50 to 50 mile per hour winds. Hillsdale County, 60 mile per hour winds for the severe thunderstorm warning and a possible tornado and torrential downpours leading to some flash flooding. Not out of the woods for that. Michigan definitely painting its picture today in terms of like a Bob Ross painting with all the pretty colors out there. Changing it back to our base reflectivity radar here, which is the intensity of the rain that's falling. We look at this radar to see sometimes where the strongest of the cells are, And right now we are seeing a lot of red in this reflectivity radar. So this is, again, what everyone uses every single day on their weather apps, the intensity of the rain that is falling. So these reds, heavy rain, yellows and oranges, that's our moderate rain, and our greens and even our blues is going to be our lighter rain. And so right now our heaviest pocket of showers and thunderstorms, right where the winds are at, are right here from North Adams down to Osseo, running up and down Knowles Road and Moscow Road here south of US 12. So right now just a Hillsdale County threat for the severe weather, for the special weather statement in effect for Calhoun and Jackson County. If you're not in any of those three counties right now, primarily out of the woods. However, we're watching some gusty winds moving into southern Eaton and southern Ingham County as we speak. No statements, no warnings in effect there, but it is very close to the warm front. And we could see some gusty winds mixed down to the surface, at least 50 miles per hour in nature. And as a reminder, we do have just gusty winds in general that are occurring. We do have that wind advisory in effect through midnight tomorrow night. So next 23 hours, there's a wind advisory in effect. And so whether or not you have a storm in your neck of the woods, you are likely to get gusty winds no matter what. And that wind advisory denotes 45 to 50 miles per hour. So even when these storms do pass, we could still see consistently gusty winds as the cold front comes through tonight and even into the daytime hours tomorrow here across the state of Michigan. So keep that in mind. Also, if you're in a winter weather advisory, winter storm warning, blizzard warning, or ice storm warning, the winds are incorporated into those alerts. And so make sure to check the text on those alerts when you do view them, because they will show you how high the winds are expected to get in your designated area. 80 of the 83 counties in the state of Michigan do have some sort of alert in effect as well. As a reminder, we posted them on our Facebook page, Michigan Storm Chasers, earlier tonight. So feel free to go follow us over there. You can also view them on Instagram and X as well. The purple on the radar, that is our range folded. So that is basically just bad data. And radar is very awesome to use, but sometimes it does come with its imperfections. And one of that is bad data getting incorporated into the velocity radar, where the wind is basically colliding with the data is colliding with itself as it gets returned back to the radar site. And so what radar automatically does is it covers it all up because it doesn't want to show those unrealistic values on radar. So range folded is the purple you see on radar. It's nothing to worry about. It's just bad data that's coming in. That's often why we say radar, the further you go away, becomes a little bit sketchier in nature, because it's very hard to get accurate data the further away you get from the radar site. Additionally, you do have the curvature of the Earth, and the radar beam does continue to get higher in the atmosphere as you go about the distance from the radar site. And so if you're down here at the radar site, let's say Cromwell, Indiana, for example, the lowest scan is 250 feet off the ground. Now, we use the same radar for Hillsdale County because they are in the same jurisdiction. At Hillsdale County, it's 5,000 feet off the ground. So when we had days like March 6th, about a week and a half ago now, we had a lot of that lowest kilometer shear. So that 0 to 1 kilometer shear is what we call it. All of that spin in the atmosphere is located in the first mile from the ground up to the mile point in the atmosphere. So 0 feet off the ground to 5,200 feet off the ground, that's where all the spin's located. And that's why we saw on radar last week that the velocity signature with the Union City tornado specifically was it was there, but it wasn't like over the top, wild by any means. But that's because curvature of the Earth, the radar beam shooting out higher and higher into the sky as it goes out from the radar site. It was all underneath that radar beam. And so if we had more radars, we'd be able to see, closer to some of these areas that's in between these radar gaps. But again, if you're in Hillsdale County, you don't really have a close radar there. We're using the Indiana radar, which at your location is showing winds at the lowest level here at 5,200 feet off the ground. So anything below 5,200 feet, we're not seeing on radar. So everything above that, we are seeing. So another history lesson there on radar, if you were curious, why sometimes radar is sometimes inaccurate. Again, please do not spam in chat. Appreciate if you didn't do that. Again, our moderators are in chat to help out with some of your comments. But again, please do not spam or use all caps if possible. Thank you guys for following the rules. Kalamazoo, good question. Kalamazoo's closest radar, you guys are in the Grand Rapids jurisdiction, so you guys would use the Grand Rapids radar. In Kalamazoo's case, it is 2,900 feet off the ground. So anything below 2,900 feet, we wouldn't be able to see on radar. Anything above 2,900 feet, we would be able to see. And so Kalamazoo's better covered than Hillsdale County in this example, but it's still pretty far away from a radar site there. Speaking of radar, we go back to our velocity here. The couplets in Eaton County still continuing to fall apart. Still could see some gusty winds heading into Eaton Rapids and points south down here towards Springport. Otherwise, most of these gusty winds are going to be down here towards Jackson, Vandercook Lake, Napoleon, Brooklyn, down the M50 corridor here towards Tecumseh here in the next 30 to 60 minutes. Pretty windy sky just opened up in Jackson proper. Thank you for the update there. Again, we do appreciate your comments in chat. Now, I will say this, comments do fly by every once in a while here. Again, I'm looking at our YouTube comments, Facebook, Twitch, and X comments all at the same time. And so on our busiest streams, kind of like we're having tonight, these comments do fly by. And so sometimes I pick up on the comments, sometimes I don't. And again, tracking is the most important thing, which right now, the gustiest of the winds are about to exit Hillsdale County. And this will be a Detroit jurisdiction here as it moves into Lenawee County. So we'll watch out for any alerts coming in from the National Weather Service in Detroit here within the next probably 5 to 10 minutes. I would imagine at least a special alert statement is on the way for perhaps Washtenaw and Lenawee counties, if I had to guess. Because again, this is still going to be strong winds with this line moving through. But if you're in Hillsdale right now, Jonesville, the gustiest of the winds are pretty much over you guys. But you're still in that severe thunderstorm warning. So if you want to play it completely safe, just wait until this warning does expire, which is again at 12:45 a.m. Again, the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Hillsdale County for 60-mile-per-hour winds and a possible tornado, which right now I'm not really seeing anything in terms of rotation. But again, we go back to that radar issue with it being so far away. Those kinks in the lines barely show up at this height here in Hillsdale County. So we got to watch this little area here, which extends, just double checking, I believe this is Somerset area. Indeed it is. Yeah, Somerset Center, all the way down through Jerome, Wheatland, North Adams, and Pittsford here in portions of southern Michigan. We do have a Hudson cam. We're going to go ahead and pull that up real quick if I can find it. Forgot it's titled something different here. There we go. So we do have a Hudson, Michigan cam. We'll go ahead and pop that in real quick. Courtesy of Raptor Industries. So again, Hudson, Michigan, which is right on the Hillsdale-Lenawee County line. This is looking north towards that line of severe winds. And so right now you can see it's very calm, but it could change up pretty quickly here as this line moves in. Current time on your screen, 12:30 a.m. That is a live view of our Hillsdale County cam, courtesy of Raptor Industries. Looking to the north. We also have an east cam as well. We do not have that live at the current time. Most of these winds are to the north of the camera anyways, but again, we'll see it no matter what, whether we're looking south or north as these winds move through. In fact, the south side of the building is just the cornfields. We don't really have any trees to look at on our south view. So we'll keep this on my monitor on the side of the screen here, so you guys, I'll keep an eye out for it. But at the current time, still pretty calm at the Hudson, Michigan Raptor Industries camera. Gusty winds also in Jackson. I know we see a couple comments here coming in saying Jackson's getting gusty, and that is true. You can see that line does extend outside of the severe thunderstorm warning up to Rives Junction and Jackson. Also Vandercook Lake. It's going to continue towards Washtenaw and Lenawee County, and also into Ingham County, further north, where the warm front is located. I'm gonna go ahead and check in with Tyler behind the scenes, see if he has any damage so far. Because again, we do have some outages that have come in across Branch County, and right now he is still out that way. He's actually all the way into Hillsdale County right now, so I'll ask him to see if there's been any branches he's encountered. Hey Tyler, have you seen any sort of damage so far in your drive across US 12? Sounds good. Thank you for that. For those who can't hear Tyler, again, he's in my earpiece right now. He has not seen anything on US 12 specifically. If there's going to be any damage, it's going to be probably on those back roads with the power outages that have come in from Branch County. Most of the outages right now in Branch County are south and west of Coldwater. There's a couple outages there. Also back into St. Joseph County, on the east side of St. Joseph County, south of Colon. We're talking the Nottawa and the Findlay area. And we do have one outage just to the north of downtown Bronson, back in Branch County there. So 5 different bigger outages across St. Joseph and Branch County, and a couple smaller outages have been scattered in as well. We do have one that's on the line. It looks like it's a previous outage, but we do have an outage up there on Jonesville Road on the Hillsdale Branch County line. We have radios for those who are curious. Here at Michigan Storm Chasers, all of our Storm Chasers use a radio network, and it's in my ear, so it's not shouting onto the stream, because that has been distracting in the past. For those who have watched our streams in the past, we've just had our chasers just talking to you guys. But again, I will relay any information I can hear from Tyler over to you guys. And Tyler right now is chasing in Hillsdale County in the severe thunderstorm warning in Jonesville, Michigan. As you can see there on the screen, that is his camera. It is pretty dark out there because it is obviously 12:30 in the morning, but there is no lightning with these storms. Low instability, high shear type of night out there. Kind of the opposite of summer, where you have high instability, sometimes low shear. And so we see these very big pulse thunderstorms that have a lot of lightning that extend well into the nighttime hours. And now that I said that, I'm now looking forward to those pulse thunderstorms later this summer. Some of you guys who are summer lovers and like looking at that distant lightning, you guys can attest to that, I guess you could say. But a good nighttime thunderstorm in the summer, as long as it's not severe, is always a welcome sight. Thank you for that report, Gene. If you have a photo of that report, that snow report, please send it in to our page. You can send it in via Messenger or send us an email. We do prefer Messenger, though, if you do have a report. Or our Discord channel, if possible. If you know anybody in Washtenaw and Lenawee County who do have strong to severe gusts heading your way, so feel free to shoot them a call. Let them know that the winds are right at or below severe limits right now, 55 to 60 miles per hour. And again, 60 mile per hour winds is the cutoff line. Technically it's 58, but the criteria now is 60. They just issue it for 60 mile per hour winds just to round up. But 58 mile per hour winds is the criteria for severe winds. And that's right about where we're at with this line moving through Jackson and Hillsdale County, now starting to leak over into extreme northwest Lenawee County here in southern Michigan. So again, Lenawee County, Washtenaw County, even up there in Ingham County, feel free to just shoot them a call, say, hey, you guys don't really have severe weather right now, but it is strong storms, strong winds. And again, even if you do have straight line winds that are 50 miles per hour, that can still bring down some weak rotted trees that might be next to your house. So you do want to make sure that everyone is okay as these winds move through. That's not a slam dunk 80 mile per hour winds by any chance, but again, we do see some pockets of damaging winds moving in through Jackson Hillsdale, and now even in Lenawee County here as of 12:36 a.m. on March 16th. Blackman Township, strong winds there. Thank you for that report. Also seeing some outages coming in all across and scattered in nature across portions of Calhoun County and even in Jackson County. So these winds are extending up to the north. A new outage coming in about 7 miles south of Eaton on Clinton Trail. A couple outages to the southeast of Albion, between Albion and Concord. Specifically near the Bath Mills Road and Albion Road area, as well as between D Drive and H Drive, directly south of Albion. A couple big outages there. And seen a couple outages popping up across Metro Jackson. Go back up to the Grand Rapids radar just real quick, just to see if there's anything worth talking about in the Eaton and Ingham County area. That line of storms that has moved up to the northeast and heading into Lansing does still exhibit some strong winds, but right now nothing that is showing any signs of rotation. In fact, it is now officially north of the warm front, and you can see as soon as it hits north of that warm front, all those greens you see there, those higher winds, poof, gone, pretty much. So especially a rotation where you see the reds and greens close together. Back here over Eaton Rapids, it was kind of there, very, very weak in nature, but really no sign at all of any rotation now, especially since this is now north of the warm front. So very, very stable storms heading into Lansing. Don't expect these to be severe at all. We could see a special weather statement for some gusty winds, but at the current time, it looks like the Lansing area is going to be okay. So that includes Eaton and Ingham counties and perhaps even southern Clinton counties too. But again, it is a strong shower, I guess you could call it, as it enters Lansing there. We do still have to watch out down here in the Lenawee, Jackson, and Washtenaw County areas. Good news, I will say this, the severe thunderstorm warning hasn't been allowed to expire 5 minutes early. But we could see a new statement or warning pop up here in the next couple of minutes. It just depends on what the National Weather Service in Detroit decides to do here for portions of Washtenaw and Lenawee counties. Again, that is their jurisdiction and not Grand Rapids or northern Indiana. And I can, in fact, actually see our front moving in through Hillsdale County right now. This is in Hudson, again, once again at the Raptor Industries headquarters. That little cloud you can see up there, that is the edge of that line of showers, so you'll start to see some rain and some wind here in just a second. In fact, there's some raindrops starting to fall there on the left side of the screen. You can actually see the trees starting to move there on the bottom left side of the screen as well as the winds are beginning to pass through. And this is looking north from Hudson, Michigan. And I believe the camera's on the west side of town. So it's over in Hillsdale County, I believe. But right now, no severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. If we go back to the radar, you can see there's no more orange boxes on the screen. We still have those gusty winds moving through with this specific line. I'm circling with my mouse here from Jackson down here to Addison and Hudson. If you are to the west of this little line of red, you're pretty much in the clear from any severe weather. But do note, wind advisory is still in effect through midnight tomorrow night. We could still see winds not associated with any precipitation. And again, with the rain changing over to snow tomorrow morning and afternoon, that could cause some snow squalls to actually pop up here in the state of Michigan. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I'm going to go back to my Hudson camera real quick as I can see the actual curtains of rain and I think wind move across the screen here. In fact, look at those trees starting to bend a little bit in the wind. Some pretty strong to severe gusts there, I would have to imagine. Cars going by. Actually, take a look at that flagpole right there. That's coming through pretty quick. That's coming through pretty decently. Go ahead and enable digital zoom here. That pole's shaking pretty well. Let's take a look at all of our other trees over here. initial gusts there. And you can see right about the top of the screen, those clouds are moving by really, really quickly. And so this is a very fast-moving storm. Again, 55 to 60 miles per hour is the speed at which these storms are moving. And the gusts are also about 55 to 60 miles per hour. So some decent gusts. Knock over a couple loose limbs, perhaps some rotted trees. So if you're in Lenawee County, this is entering your area right now. And if you are up in extreme eastern Jackson County as well, this is over you guys, and it's about to enter Washtenaw County. So we're talking Chelsea and Manchester. Those are the next two big cities up on deck for any strong to perhaps even severe winds with this line of showers. Go ahead and switch back to the radar. Also wanted to quickly go back here to our YouTube chat. Let's make sure there's nothing I'm missing. I see Lynn Lynn with a $2 super chat saying, just a thanks to all of MSC and to the amazing mods. Thank you very much, Lynn. We do appreciate that so much. Appreciate the kind comments as always. We also have Dynamic Gamer becoming an EFCO member and a $10 super chat saying, Waterford got blasted with a minimum 60 mile per hour wind gust about 45 minutes ago that almost ripped my locked screen door off. It shook the house. Yikes. Thank you very much, Dynamic, for that report. Again, if you have any damage out there, feel free to send that into our page. And, of course, pass that along to the National Weather Service closest to you there in Waterford with any damage. So appreciate you very much. Thank you so much for your support. Also, Bonnie becoming an EF0 member here on YouTube as well. All this black shading that you can see in the Oakland, Wayne, Macomb County areas, that is the roads. So I have a road layer that's actually ArcGIS into the software. This is GR2 software here that shows every single road. So if I zoom in, you can see every single road in the state of Michigan, which obviously in Metro Detroit, there's a lot of roads. So when you zoom out, it just looks like this big old mess here. So it's nothing to worry about. It's just that there's a lot of roads there. And once you zoom in, they kind of become more spaced apart. But for now, no storms over there. Anything right now is going to be here in the Grass Lake and Brooklyn area. New power outage actually just came in from the Parma area on Michigan Avenue, Sandstone to Parma. Looks like. New outage. Actually, not a new outage there. I'm just looking at some newer outages. And a lot of them are previous from winds that have already been occurring today. So it's hard to see whether or not these are actually coming from storm damage, but it looks like some of these outages are storm related in Branch and St. Joseph County, as well as portions of Calhoun and Jackson, but not all of them. Some of them are from previous winds. So again, if you are up here in Clinton, Gratiot, and Eaton counties, this line of showers is north of the warm front. It is not likely to exhibit anything severe unless we can somehow get severe gusts to gust down to the surface with this line. But at the current time, I'm not seeing that. So good news. Still, if you're in Clinton County, the US 127 corridor from Alma down to Lansing, this is some gusty winds moving in. Do take that into account. Definitely stay weather aware out there. Starting to see that warm front seeping south. Howell's down to 61 now. Mason at 41 degrees. Kalamazoo and Battle Creek have cooled off to 50, 48, 47 degrees. And I'll actually go ahead and check in right now since we do have a moment. There's no severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, so good news there. I'll go ahead and check in on our ice storm that is occurring up here in the Upper Peninsula. And that is a lot of sleet and ice. Now, We don't usually post sleet totals on our maps. They're kind of just encompassed within our snow totals just because it's very similar in nature. But if you're counting just sleet accumulations tonight, we could see sleet accumulations across this corridor of Michigan, upwards of 6 inches of sleet, on top of 6 to 12 inches of snow, on top of perhaps half an inch of ice. So it's just a mix of all sorts of precipitation up here tonight. I switched this over to precipitation depiction radar. So this is the intensity of the rain, but also the intensity of the snow, the intensity of the ice, the intensity of the sleet. So what you're seeing here is rain in the green, yellow, and red down here. This little area from Mason County up through Cadillac, Mio, and Alpena, that is all freezing rain in this red. This cream-looking orange is your sleet corridor. So Rogers City down to Gaylord, Kalkaska, Kingsley down to Free Soil. And of course you get north of that line that turns into mainly snow where our blizzard warnings are in effect. And this is seeped a little bit further south than previous models have anticipated. And so we've seen an extension of the ice storm warnings down towards Missaukee, Roscommon counties this evening. We don't expect them to get too far further south, but we do have winter weather advisories in effect for Osceola and Clare counties that did pop in from the National Weather Service in Grand Rapids since they have jurisdiction there. And they're expected to see perhaps upwards of 1/10 of an inch of ice. If it gets any higher than that, we could see maybe a ice storm warning, perhaps 1 or 2 get extended into maybe probably Iosco counties, maybe Osceola counties, but most of this is going to stay here across the Grayling and Gaylord area tonight. So if you are up there north of West Branch tonight, there's going to be some heavy ice falling, and it's going to continue throughout the daytime hours tomorrow. If you're up there, again, prepare for multi-day power outages. It's nothing new, because again, we saw that last year on March 30th. It's not even been a year since last year's ice storm, and we got another one happening tonight. So do be prepared for some significant tree fall and widespread power outages at times. Ice totals not as high as last year's. I'm seeing totals that could be upwards of 1 inch. Last year's was 1.5 inches or even 1.75 inches. And right now we're not seeing anything that has reached that yet. But again, this is a developing situation for the ice storm up there. Alcona County, 63% without power there. Roscommon County, 58%. Missaukee County, 46%. And Wexford County, 47%. So we have 4 counties right now in northern Michigan that are about or over 50% without power. But right now we are not seeing any severe winds coming in with this report here in southeast Michigan. We are watching closely. They're about to move into Manchester. They're gusting to about 40 to 45, maybe even 50 miles per hour here. So they're definitely losing their oomph, which is a good sign. And if nothing gets warned by 1 a.m., I think I'm going to hop off temporarily and then come back if anything does go warned. I also want to make a new stream because it is March 16th now, and so I could start a new stream with the correct date as well. So if no warnings get issued in the next 10 minutes, I'll go ahead and pop off. While we are waiting for any more perhaps alerts to pop in, I'm going to go ahead and switch the radar over to our reflectivity so you can see the rain that is falling. And again, for those who are new here and want to know what reflectivity is indicating, on this specific radar, the blues and the greens is our light rain, yellows is our moderate, and red is our heavier rains. And where we see the heavier rains is where usually our strong storms are at. So we're watching this specific line right now in far eastern Jackson County and even into northern Lenawee County. It's pretty much moving northeast, so it's going to be pretty much an all wash in all county threat here in just a second for 40 to 50 mile per hour winds. But again, that's the heaviest of the rain right now we're seeing on radar. And going ahead and looping it, you can see that's actual direction. But again, while the radar loops through here, feel free to shout out to our sources who help keep this stream free for you guys. Again, we can't do it without these trusted partners. So as I shout them out here, here, feel free to screenshot or write down the phone numbers for some of these locations. They are all vetted, licensed, and insured businesses across the state of Michigan for pretty much anything storm damage related. But there are other services too that you guys can utilize them for, as well as a couple charities that are mentioned in here for our shout out. So we'll go ahead and flip over here. At the bottom of the screen, we'll go ahead and read off some of our sponsors. We'll go ahead and start off with Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding. They're based out of the east side of the state, Sanilac and St. Clair counties, for all of your roofing and siding needs there. On Top Roofing, based out of Livingston County and surrounding areas. Rainbow Restoration, for all of your restoration efforts, not your rainbow restoration efforts, but your restoration efforts in West Michigan, turn to Rainbow Restoration. There's a charity that you guys can go ahead and support, Ronald McDonald House Charities of Detroit. Numbers there on the screen. ServPro, for all your fire, water, storm damage needs, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, across the state of Michigan. Storm Guard Metro Detroit North, covering North Metro Detroit, for all of your storm restoration needs there. Top Gun Roofing Exteriors, for all of your West Michigan roofing needs. Top Notch Tree Care, helping the people of mid-Michigan, Lansing to Jackson, for any tree damage needs there, which right now is where there's some severe winds moving through. Victor's Home Solutions, covering the Tri-Cities area. That would be Midland, Saginaw, and Bay City. A-Class Construction and Restoration, for all of your roofing needs across Northwest Lower Peninsula. American Arbor, for all of your tree damage needs in the Southwest Michigan area. Apex Restoration Mitigation, for all of your restoration needs in the Genesee County and Thumb region. Battle Creek IT, for all of your IT needs across the state of Michigan. So proud supporter of anything Michigan Storm Chasers here. It's not quite spring yet, so feel free to turn to Clear Plow Snow Pushers for all of your snow pusher needs, I should say. Crystal Flash for all of your sponsored propane and fuel delivery needs. Cat's Roofing and Siding for all of your roofing needs in the Lansing area. Also Kuiper Tree Care for any tree-related services in West Michigan. McKay Tree Specialists in Southeast Michigan, and I believe that rounds out the list of our trusted partners here at Michigan Storm Chasers. So again, shout out to all of those who support. And again, we can't do it without you guys, so thank you for supporting very much. And for all those businesses we just listed through there, feel free to let them know Michigan Storm Chasers sent you as a referral. Right now, once this line of showers moves through, it's going to be back building actually as we get into the daytime hours tomorrow. So you see this rain moving through the state right now. We're going to actually see precipitation build back into the west over in Grand Rapids, over in Muskegon and St. Joseph later tonight, and the wind direction will change tomorrow. And then that change in wind direction is the cold front, and we'll see snow tomorrow. Lake effect snow across the entire state. It's going to be kind of hit or miss over on the east side of the state because, again, it's very hard to get lake effect snow over to you guys. We could see some isolated banding of 1 to 3 inches across southeast and the thumb. It's just going to depend on where that band sets up. We've seen that many times here this winter. But if you're over in West Michigan, 3 to 6 inches is possible in some isolated locations with a winter weather advisory, and obviously the continued blizzard up to the north. So tomorrow's going to be cold, snowy, and icy at times, especially up there where the ice storm continues for portions of northern Michigan. But it looks like our severe weather threat is pretty much done for the night. Again, gusty winds still going to be possible across the entire state, not associated with any precipitation or storm. And so you do want to take note that you could still see some downed trees, down power lines tomorrow as you go about your Monday, because that wind advisory is in effect through midnight tomorrow night. So another 23 hours left for that. And additionally, we do have winds featured in the winter weather advisories, blizzard warnings, ice storm warnings, and winter storm warnings for 45 to 55, even some 60-mile-per-hour gusts still possible up there in the upper peninsula of Michigan. So we are not done with the winds by any means for tomorrow. So keep that in mind as we go about your Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Monday evening commute. And it may slick up across portions of southern Michigan as we get into Monday evening. Right now, no alerts in the state. There's still severe thunderstorm watch in effect. Again, a watch is different from a warning in the fact that there's no warnings or there's no severe weather ongoing, but the ingredients are still favorable for severe weather. I will tell you right now that the severe thunderstorm watches are slowly being canceled. I would imagine we're getting pretty close to them being all done. It's in effect till 2 a.m. nevertheless. They might let it just run out of time, but this line has definitely lost a lot of its oomph. We're still seeing some gusty winds in the Chelsea area right now, extending down south towards Manchester and Onstead. So this does include the Brooklyn area where Tyler is out chasing. If we take a look at Tyler's cam once again, it is just rain at the current time. No lightning out there. But he is in the Brooklyn, Michigan area, as you can see up there at the top left of the screen. Chasers do have live locations this year, so I know it's a big request from everyone, and we finally found the software able to do it. So again, another reason to follow. We've got storm chasers out there all the time, giving us the live view so you guys can make that decision in a split second on whether or not to take shelter when inclement weather is heading your way. Again, I am Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma. The current time is 12:58 a.m. as we wrap up this coverage for the severe weather tonight. Feel free to follow along if you are watching on Facebook, Twitch, or X. If you're on YouTube, the subscribe button is the equivalent of a follow. It's all free to do. And we are proud to have you guys follow along here. Again, you can become part of the team. Simple as following here at Michigan Storm Chasers. Do appreciate it very, very much. Like and a share also go a long ways as mentioned. And if you'd like to monetarily support, you can send a super chat or join us as a member by hitting the join button there at the bottom of the screen on our YouTube stream. Other than that, though, looking at the comments real quickly, don't see any comments. No comments that have to do with anything severe weather related, so looks like we're in the clear. No damage reports coming in. Again, if you do have damage reports, feel free to send them in to us. Michigan Storm Chasers, our tag is at MI Storm Chasers, but if you just search Michigan Storm Chasers, you can send them in that way. I'm going to go ahead and roll the outro for now. Again, if severe weather does pop back up, if any severe warnings do pop back in, even if it's rolling during the outro music here, we'll be back. We'll just cut the outro music and we'll stay live. But again, if the outro is done, we cut the live stream and then another severe warning pops in, we'll just be back live for you guys. So got you covered from beginning to end for all severe weather here in the state of Michigan. Just looking real quick at correlation coefficients. I saw a little thingy pop up, but I believe that's clear air. I do believe that is. Yeah, we should be good. So we'll keep it on the radar behind the scenes. I'm going to be up for a while tonight watching everything from the ice to the snow to the severe weather. So you can sleep soundly for now, knowing that we got you covered behind the scenes if anything does pop in. And again, best way to make sure to know when we go live is obviously to subscribe here on YouTube. Again, Facebook is nice, but they don't send out live notifications, as you guys have seen. And so if you know anybody that follows on Facebook that's not watching the stream tonight, or if you're following us on Facebook tonight that's watching us, feel free to hop over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, because again, those YouTube notifications do come out in a good time when we do go live. So again, shout out to you guys tonight. Also, quick shout out to the mods who are awesome, as always, for helping out in chat and moderating chat as needed. Don't be a rule breaker, because again, they will silence you if needed. And again, love having you in chat here, but please be respectful of everyone else. And we hope to see you guys next time for another severe weather coverage here at Michigan Storm Chasers. Again, I am Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzman signing off for now. Quick look at the radar across the state and looping it. It's pretty much all rain as we move here into the 1 a.m. hour. So take care, everybody. Stay safe out there. If you have to travel across northern Michigan tonight, travel with survival in mind. That is not to be taken lightly, because again, If you do get stranded, you may be stranded for hours, perhaps even days, if no trucks can get out to you. So stay safe out there if you do have to travel across northern Michigan and the UP. And we do hope to see you back here live for another severe weather briefing or severe weather coverage sometime in the near future here at Michigan Storm Chasers. I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzman signing off for this evening. Have a great night, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.